Hi, and welcome to Southern Comfort Knits. I'm Lori, and I've been wanting to make a podcast for a few years, and this seems like a good time. I have a little extra time sitting around the house, or at least not leaving the house, so I thought I'd give it a shot. Bear with me as I figure things out, as lighting. Right now it looks like I have 37 chins where I really only have 3. So hopefully I can improve that as I move along. So as I said, my name is Lori. My name on Ravelry is LP Pearl, and my name on Instagram is LP Pearl. I really don't post a whole lot on Instagram, just mostly knit pictures or my projects. And they're usually not with me in them because I'm not really going to many places these days, so I don't like to take pictures without makeup, but maybe as I move along I can take better pictures with me actually in them. I thought I'd tell you a little bit about me since this is the first one, and I am originally from a smaller town outside of Philadelphia, Bucks County, Pennsylvania, and I lived there my whole life. I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina about 8 years ago, and it's been fantastic. But the interesting thing is when I lived in Pennsylvania, I wore mostly dark colors, primary colors, or jewel tone colors. And after moving to North Carolina, I love bright colors, Lily Pulitzer colors, and I'll tell you a little bit about one of my favorite recently discovered yarn brands in a little bit when I show you some projects. So I honestly don't know how long I've been knitting, maybe about 15 or 20 years. I crocheted most of my life, learned to crochet from my grandmother. I don't even remember how young, but I used to stay with her when my mom was working. So she taught me to crochet, did a little bit of that probably in my 20s and 30s, and discovered knitting maybe about 15-ish years ago. One of my friends and I took a class at Michael's, and the funny thing is, for how long I've been knitting, I haven't experimented much. Been doing a lot of basic stuff. It's just been over the last year, and who knows, maybe it has to do more with having a little more time at home, a little more personal bandwidth, that I've been wanting to try more complicated techniques. I'm excited to try steeking sometime soon, which has always terrified me. So I'll tell you a little bit about my upcoming project ideas as I get to my later segments. So as a lot of us in the knitting community and crocheting community are, I'm multi-craftual. I love so many different things. I love refinishing furniture. I chalk painted my guest bedroom set. One piece was a vintage piece that I had and brought with me from Pennsylvania, and then the rest was a set that I had gotten from a neighbor who, I don't remember if she was getting rid of it, I'm not sure, but somehow I ended up with it, and it's so pretty. I'll have to include a picture at some point in a later podcast if anyone is interested. I also have a couple pieces that I just recently got from a friend who was moving, that we are going to make into a bar type area for our kitchen living room area. I love jewelry making. That's something that I've been doing for a long time. I did silversmithing in my 20s and did it very briefly as just like a fun side business, and honestly it's a very expensive hobby, so it's just something I really do for me. And I love gardening, and I definitely got a little bit more into that over the last year. I just love making the yard look pretty, and that's been a lot of fun. So let's talk a little bit about my knitting projects. My most recent finished object is the Miserina by Caitlin Hunter, and I love this. God, it was so much easier than I thought it was going to be. I do not go up a needle for color work. I just make sure that I leave a lot of extra yarn, and this just is so pretty. So let me show you. And I did a little bit of short rows to make it a little bit longer in the back. I love a little bit more hiney coverage. And this is Pineapple Yarn. This is, as I was mentioning, one of my favorite new yarn companies that I feel like a lot of those colors are Lily Pulitzer colors, and I just love that. I love bright, happy colors. And the blue is called Clearwater, and the orange is called Solar Flare. And I love this. Maybe next time I will actually wear it. I don't remember if I made the sleeves longer. I like a little bit more sleeve coverage. I do not have the arms of a young person, so I like a little bat wing coverage. But I love this, and it turned out even better than I thought it would. So that was a fun knit. I haven't moved on to anything else yet. I have a couple projects in the works that I will show you about. So I watch Chevy Rell, I think that's the name of her podcast, and she was mentioning a yarn company, or not a yarn company, someone on Etsy that she uses to crank her yarn socks, and her name is Knitty Bow Fiber Co. And I was really into socks a couple years ago, and then once I started doing sweaters for myself, I kind of left that behind. And I have a ton of sock yarn, and my husband loves hand knitted socks, so I thought I would try it. I had never done an afterthought heel or toe or added a cuff in the way when you get a sock blank. So I've tried it just recently, and I, as with any new knitting technique, I don't know why I waited so long. So I started a sock yarn. This is opal yarn, and it is pop music, and all of this is in Ravelry. If I forget the names, the sparkly green is Cog Yarn, and I bought that last Christmas as a group of minis. But what I'm about to do is the heel, and I can't even believe how easy it is to for some reason I was so intimidated and it seems so difficult, but once you try it, I just love it. Just love it. So I'm making these. Hopefully they'll be done next time I podcast. And then I'm making this for my husband. So I've done the toe. This is another opal, and it's from one of their animal lines, the pattern. It's Knuffel, Knuffel. I don't know what that is. It's a cute little animal. The picture of the animals on the band. But I've done the toe. I am going to cut in for the heel. And my husband loves long socks. This seems to me ridiculously long, but we'll see. Once I cut in the heel, I'm going to have him try it on and see how he feels about it. He may think they're long, but he does have a long leg, so it might be fine for him. And if he actually likes them long, then I will just add the ribbing at the top. So that's been fun. That's one of my new things that I have tried this year that I have loved. And now I want to send all my yarn to Knitty Boho Company and have her crank all my yarn, because I'm obsessed with knitting sweaters for myself right now. So let me tell you about another project that I have on the needles. This one is yarn that I've had for years, and I don't know when I cast this on. It's probably been a year or more, but I started the toe for this yarn, and this was Stray Cat Yarn Company. I don't know if she's still in business. I couldn't find her on Etsy, and I see that she still has a Facebook page, but she hasn't or he hasn't updated anything since 2020. So chances are they're not in business anymore. And this is a project bag from my friend Kristen, who is on Ravelry as Kristen, Christen. And previously, I don't know if she still has a podcast. She just moved. Queen City Yarn Company podcast. Queen City Yarn podcast. So check her out. But this is Tanny Casey. I love this. It's so glamorous. But I thought this would be a great project to take. I'm going away and I'm going to knit super easy. I love super easy patterns. It's called Aramis. Aramis. Wasn't there a male cologne from like the 80s called Aramis? That was very pungent. Anyway, this has a left and a right side, which I thought was pretty interesting. Left and a right sock pattern so that they twirl away from each other. So I thought that, and it's only knits and purls. Super easy. This is a free pattern, by the way. So I'm gonna try that. That sounds like fun. I love brainless types of things to take when I'm on vacation. So I'll be excited to get working on that. Let's see. Oh, the other thing that I have that I'm kind of in the planning mode. There's a couple podcasts I watched that they talk a lot about Knit Picks yarn. Knit Picks was one of my go-to yarn companies when I started, well, maybe about 10 years ago, when I started knitting more sweaters, but I haven't used them in a while, but I've been curious lately. And I decided to try some yarn and swatch it appropriately, because I really don't swatch anymore. Nothing ever fit me the right way, even when I would swatch, and honestly, I know it's my own issue. So I've just given up on swatching, and guess what? Everything fits me perfectly now. Don't even try to explain it, I don't know. But this is City Tweed Aran Weight in Cobalt Blue, and look how beautiful that is. Oh, that's so exciting. I was thinking about doing the Weekender in this. I thought that would be so pretty. And it's so soft. This is 55 merino wool, 25% superfine alpaca, and 20% Donegal tweed. It is just so soft. It really feels like it has cashmere in it. It must be the alpaca that makes it so soft. And then I have another one, City Tweed DK weight, and this is kelp. And the blue did not bleed when I washed the swatch. This one bled dramatically. So I'm not really thrilled with it. And I definitely would not knit with this yarn, but this color, but I definitely love the yarn. So I don't know, we'll see what project I come up with. This one is, I'd have to see what the stitches are. Stitch per inch is for the Weekender or something along those lines. I don't remember, but I love this one because it almost reminds me of a chunky. That would be a really fast project. Let's see, so let's talk about recent acquisitions. So another yarn company that I discovered this year, and I think it was from Chevy Rell, was Mace of Skeins. And this is her logo, a little card that she sends you with some writing. And I bought these. This is Cherry Blossom. And this is from Knit Picks Aloft lace weight. And I'm going to do a love note with this. I have already done a love note, but I did it as a lot of other, sorry, my puppy is moving my chair, what was I saying? Oh, I did the love note originally when it first came out, and I did it the way everyone else was doing it as a crop. I am in my 50s. I am never going to wear a crop sweatshirt or sweater. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm going to make another one appropriate length for someone my age. And listen, I'm not judging. I do not have the body to be wearing a crop sweater. So if I did, I'd probably show it off. But I thought that would be super pretty, and I love that color pink, and I love that there will be little pops of a brighter pink popping out. This is Cherry Blossom, if I did not say the name. I don't know if it's still available. Her colors seem to be colors that come out and then you don't see them for a while, so I think she's more of in-season type dyer. So then my other latest acquisition from one of my very favorite yarn companies is Pineapple Yarn. And I have a pattern picked out in my queue. I don't remember the name of it. but this is End of the Day, number 62. This is not one of her regular colors. It's whatever's left in the dye pot. And this is mint green. This is one of her regular colors. And look, it's a little sparkly. Oh my God, look at that. I'm going to do some type of V-neck sweater. Maybe even, oh, what is that one that has mohair? I just would do it not without mohair, like rib tee or something. But I thought that would be so pretty, especially lining like the V and the cuffs with that. Oh, love it so much. She's definitely one of my favorites. All right, let's see what else I have. I think that is it. That went so fast. Yeah, that's it. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, I'll probably be throwing in different segments, but the other thing that I love to do is read books. Well, I listen to books. I like to listen while I'm knitting or multitasking in the yard or something. And the one I just read that I thought was so fantastic was The Lions of Fifth Avenue. And it's based on a librarian and some, I don't know if the right word is vintage, historic books that are being stolen and like a family legacy. But it talks about how there used to be an apartment in the New York Library, and there really was. I actually had this book for my book club, so I'm going to get some pictures from the apartments that actually were in the New York Library and put them up on my big screen TV to show for our book club. But I thought that it's so interesting, and it keeps you going until the very end. So I thought I would share that with you guys in case that is something that you might be interested in. So I hope you enjoyed some of what I had to say. I hope you will come back for my next one, which will probably be in a couple weeks. I will be on vacation next week. And hopefully I will, as I move along, get myself together and really know what I'm doing. But please subscribe. Please give me a thumbs up. And I am looking forward to seeing you soon. And be kind to everyone that you meet, because you never know what they are dealing with. Thank you.